as well as your case managers down at the bottom. So we're not hiding anything. You can find us. We are right there on the microsite. Any questions there? All right. We're going to go back to the screen where we logged in. Is everybody seeing that screen? Sometimes there's a delay, but I want to make sure we're back on the screen where we've got some gray headers along the top. Is that correct?
Yeah, welcome
Okay.
page.
Perfect. All right. The first resource that I'm going to show you all is the very first one. In the top left-hand corner, it's the annuity rate / products. We can live in this space for hours, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm just going to show you the highlights. Once this page loads, you actually have access to all of the information on all the products that we have on the platform. Now, we live in this fixed index space more often than not, so I am going to drop down this menu and choose the very first option, the FIA product list, because this is going to pull every single product that we have on the WFG platform. All right. We're not going to go into all that right now. What I want to show you is how to read this page and then how to utilize it. So from left to right, we've got the name of the carrier and the name of the product. We do have the AM Best rating next. Now, we only work with A-rated or higher carriers, so we do have standards. And that is something that you can share with your even more conservative clients. Max issue age is nice because sometimes we run into the older clientele and want to know what solutions are going to be available to them. Minimum premiums, we do have at the floor, we have 10,000. So as long as your client does have 10,000 or can even help with maybe something that they've got in savings and then also an IRA contribution. But to open a contract on the WFG platform, we do need 10,000. The next one is premium type. So if you see single, that means it's a single or a lump sum premium. If it says FPA, that is a flexible premium annuity. If it has a 1.5, that means that there are some limitations that it's not going to be for the duration of the contract. Moving forward, if there is a premium bonus, we're going to show what that premium bonus is. If there is a product fee, it will also show there. Now, I do know that on the previous screen, I said that it doesn't cost you anything, right? Well, there are going to be some solutions, some more specifically in the lifetime income opportunity, where there are some fees. Now, it's not a fee that the client's going to feel because it does not directly impact the income that they're getting, but it is a contract with a life insurance policy that's saying, hey, we're going to continue to pay this for the rest of your life. And unfortunately, in the great state of or in the great United States, we don't get anything for free these days. So there may be a fee conversation, but it's always going to be a fee for the benefit of the client, not just a fee for fee's sake or a fee for managing an account. The next one is going to be where they're sitting with their S&P 500 cap. A lot of the agents like the S&P 500 cap because it is relatively consistent, and a lot of the clients can understand a cap and a ceiling and how that's going to affect their interest. We also like to show what the fixed rates are currently, because sometimes in a volatile market, especially when you can reallocate funds on a yearly basis, it's nice to know what that fixed account is. If we think that we're going to have a down market, we can actually move into that fixed account, get ahead of it, and actually give ourselves or our clients some gains, even though the market goes into a negative position. If it does have free withdrawals, which most of our products are going to have in some way, shape, or form, it's going to let us know in year one if there is anything, and then in year two plus the remaining surrender term contract, what that free withdrawal is. Now, I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence that's on the call right now, but we do need to make sure that the free withdrawal is a product benefit, but the client still needs to be over 59.5 without incurring a early access penalty. Okay. If it doesn't have a free withdrawal in the first year, that means they cannot access the money. I think we're pretty well aware of that. Now, the SC years means the surrender charge years. So the majority of our products are going to be 7 and 10 years. We do have some in between, a few 5-year, a few 6-year, and a few 8-year as well when we're talking about fixed indexed annuities specifically. And then in the far right, the riders. If it says required, then we can fairly well assume that it is an income solution. If it does not have a rider or anything that is required, then we can relatively assume that that is going to be a growth solution. And the last thing that I want to show you on the page, other than the fact that you can kind of customize it along the top if you're looking for a specific company or if you have a specific client in the mind, on top left-hand corner, you can put their state, their premium, their age, and at least narrow it down a little bit. But what I want to show you last but not least is that if you actually click on the name of the product and the name of the carrier, It's actually going to open up another pop-up window. And within this window, you're going to learn probably more than you ever wanted to know about this product. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on here because you all will probably be on calls sometime this week, and you can pop this up and kind of familiarize yourself a little bit more. But guys, even in the very first paragraph, it's going to tell us that it's a single premium growth solution. I mean, and then along the top, there are more headers as well. Rates specifically, if we know that they're getting ready to have a rate change, we try to populate that as soon as we know on this screen so that you can let your clients know either is it an emergency, we need to get ahead of the rate change, or is it going to be advantageous and we need to push our meeting to next week when those rates rise. But again, guys, familiar yourself with this, share it with your teams because it could probably eliminate a lot of wasted emails or phone calls trying to go back and forth when a lot of the information that we got phone calls on is actually here at the fingertips. So any questions about the products and how you can actually read this screen and help understand how the products are going to work for the clients?
Ben, when you said the writers, you mean, I think you said if there's nothing there, it's the accumulation,
For the
the
most part.
the growth one. If it's
Mhm.
with the writer, then that's the income one.
If it says required, then we can assume right here that it's got either an income play or an enhanced death benefit, something else that is
Okay,
required, not just specifically a growth solution. Yes, ma'am.
gotcha. Thank you.
You are welcome.
The payment, the FPA, like a flexible, like a premium annuity 1.5, is that a version 1.5? What's any specific meaning for this one, 1.5?
So yeah, and again, we can click in here and it should be able to give us that information where we
What
know
is it,
exactly what that
1.5?
is.
It's a 50% increase.
Not 50, not 50%, but it'll allow you to add premiums for up to 18 months. So what that half percentage is telling us is that it has
Okay,
specific
I see.
parameters. So some of
Mm,
them are 12 months, some of them are 18, some of them are 24.
Makes sense.
But if we click in there,
Oh
it's
yeah,
going to
18
tell
months,
us,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
it's going to tell us in that first line what that opportunity is and for how long.
Great. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
You are very welcome. And then another piece on this writer quoting tool is the income opportunities. Now, I know that we have some, especially Allianz solutions, that the growth is determined on the performance of the index itself. So we're not going to see a lot of those populate with this income writing solution. What we're going to see here is more of the guaranteed level solutions. And that's really where a lot of the more conservative clients like to be anyway. Instead of letting the market dictate it, they like to know that every single year I'm going to get X. So that's what I'm going to show you here. So that if you're in a conversation with a client and it's after hours and you can't reach me, guys, you all have the ability to at least set the parameters. Hey, Mr. Client, if you give me 100 grand a day and you need income in 5 years, it's going to be somewhere between X and X. And the reason that you're going to be able to do that is because of this writer quoting tool. So if you see the red updated writer quoting and replacements, we're going to hit that drop down button. And I'm just going to go right here in the top middle, writer quoting. All right. Now we can work this two different ways. And I want to make sure you all understand both ways. Now I'm just going to put test into the name. I'm just going to use a normal or an average income scenario. So we're going to got a 55-year-old client. Let's say that they are in the state of Ohio. And let's say that they have 200,000 in a 401k. That is all we have to put in the far left-hand column. And then in the middle column under benefit options, what we're determining here is when do they want that income to start? Now, again, this is the scenario that I'm just making up in my head. Whatever they tell you is what we're going to go with. But I'm just going to assume that they want to work for 7 more years and they want to try to retire at age 62. They want to know what kind of additional income they're going to get from this annuity. And then all we're going to do is go to the far right and hit, I don't know what that word is. Continue. Sorry. Everybody's faces are in the way. Yay. So it's going to load. And what this is going to do is actually going to give us the highest income opportunity to the lowest income opportunity based on that scenario that we just put in. So in this particular scenario, the Nationwide New Heights Select product is going to give us the highest income. Now, again, from left to right, what we get to read is it's an A+ company. It has a 30% rider bonus day one. It's got a 9.5% roll-up rate. So at the time that they decide that they want to take that income, the income base has grown from the 200,000 that they put in to 490,000 and change. If you multiply 490 and change by the 4.72% benefit rate, we get $23,164 for the rest of the client's life. All right. So again, when I mentioned setting the stage, if we don't know if long-term care is important, if we don't know if an increasing income is important, I don't want to share too much because you don't get all the information on this screen. This is just a snapshot to help us understand the income opportunities that are available. But if your newer agents are trying to use this, let's make sure that they just don't shout out the biggest number that they see, because I know that the Nationwide New Heights does not have a long-term care function. But if the client has a medical history that they think that they're going to have to need that at some point in their early retirement years, they might want to have a backup plan where an income solution can double for long-term care needs. So again, I want to make sure that at least we know the resources here, but don't jump into the weeds with it and just go with the top income, because a lot of your clients, it's not necessarily the income, but it's the additional benefits that some of these annuities provide that is going to get them to move forward with a specific product. The last thing that I want to show on this slide, and that usually comes up on number one, I'm glad that it came here at least up at all, but it's that second one. It's the American General, or now Corebridge Power 7 Protector, but the choice is with maximum income. All right. So I don't want you all or your new agents to get confused thinking that that $22,820 that they get in the first few years is going to maintain, because if we look at the far right under the depleting benefits, in the 14th year, that money is going to go from 22,000 to 16,003. Now, that's not as drastic as some of the drops that I've seen. This is really a niche where a client understands that a lot of times in their first 5 to 7 years, maybe even 10 years of retirement, is when they spend a lot, they travel a lot, but then they kind of, curb those expenses. They get off the road a little bit. They're more homebodies, and therefore they don't need as much income. So if they want that maximum income and it does come up on top, it could be used for the right client. But again, for the majority of the time, we're going with the options that are giving us the level income for the rest of the client's life. So
Yeah,
any questions?
I just happen to have this kind of client. Yeah.
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 Well, we can talk at some point and see if we can't run some specific numbers to see if that
Yeah.
may.
They are 77 years old. So
Perfect. Yep. Take it while he can. And yeah, exactly. Now, there is another scenario that I want to use, and it's actually something that I've used for my fiance. So it is something that some people are starting to think about, especially as we see, the transfer of wealth come into these younger, people that just want to maintain and want to make sure that they've got X amount, in their later in life. So I'm going to go back in and run a new quote, same thing, writer quoting tool. It's going to be the exact same information, except for one thing. We've got a 55-year-old in the state of Ohio. But you're going to have those clients that are either high net worth clients or that are just a little more, I don't know, rational or think through it. But instead of worrying about how much money I've got in the 401k to how much income is that going to create, there's going to be some of you that come in and say, how much money do I need today to guarantee X amount at retirement so that either my expenses are paid or, whatever I need is going to be taken care of. So in this scenario, instead of solving for the payout amount, we're just going to hit the drop down button and we're going to solve for the premium required. And now what this is asking is, how much in income does this client need when they retire? And I'm just going to throw a number out there. Let's say it's 3,000 a month will help with their expenses. So that would be 36,000 a year. And then we're going to go back to the middle here under the benefit options, and we're going to change that back to that age 62. They want to guarantee that they've got 36,000 a year coming in income. They just want to know how much in premium they need to pay for that today. We're going to hit continue, and it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to give us the least amount of premium today to the most amount of premium to get to that income target that we're looking for. So not surprisingly here, it's the Nationwide New Heights, and they're saying that they're going to guarantee 36,000 a year if the client can come up with 310,000 and change in premium. So again, we can work it forwards or backwards, but that's part of that conversation that we're having with the clients, because they may have told you that they had 200 here, but if we can talk about, the actual need and the actual expenses that they've got, they may come out with another 3, 4, 500,000 somewhere else that they didn't want to tell you about. So let's make sure we're having those in-depth conversations so that we can pull it out so they really understand the value that this could be life-changing. Hey, I only need 300,000 to guarantee 36. Well, hell, I've got a nest egg of $1 million. What do I do with the rest? That's where it gets fun, right? That's where more FFIUL, that's where we front load this. Again, we can get crazy, But this can help alleviate a lot of the stress for people that think they're really going to outlive their money. So let's make sure we know how to utilize this and present it to our clients. And that's really what I was going to kind of go over tonight. I mean, I can go over the steps to the sale because the majority of them are on here, but I know that I've done that with the majority. And I know that we've got a national team training that can kind of go over that as well. We also have for everybody that's on the call, as you all start recruiting and bringing in new teammates, we do have a specific person on the West Coast as well as on the East Coast that can dive in and do specific annuity trainings with those new groups outside of our team. But that helps kind of get them on track. So, if you're bringing in a new 3 or 4, agents underneath you all, we can set up times that are specific to them where they can be more comfortable and have more of a conversation, but also learn the ins and the outs of annuity so that they're more comfortable when they're having the conversations with the clients. So again, multiple resources out there for your all's disposal. Glad we got the opportunity to go through this. And I know that I've got a few more minutes before I've got to hop on another call, but any other questions, comments, or concerns that you all would like to share with us while we've got time?
Hey, thank you, Ben. Can you also share us, the kind of a training? I think the schedule, like AMS post, I think some page, and then the series we can schedule like to attend that training. I think on the first page or like when you log into AMS.
I believe so. Let me go back to our homepage. Like I said,
Yeah. Yeah. Can you turn on that computer? Yeah. So I'm going to use this table now. So I will sit here. Yeah.
You tell him to talk.
Yeah, I'm going. I can't go. I was going. Can you tap it on for me? Morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening.
I can see what the world has got for me. I clenched my fist and held my breath, laid my worries down to rest.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the tonight webinar. You can see Atlanta Financial, WSB Houston. Welcome, welcome. Sugarland, welcome. All right. FC, you guys are rocky. All right, welcome.
Don't give this one to me. This IT is still in there. No one is good. You're not muted.
Yeah, the IT is fine. Welcome. Good evening.
Hey, what was you? You like to.
Good evening. Welcome, everyone. We are here. We are hosting from Gainesville, Georgia. Gainesville Financial Center. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. Good morning. My name is Gaitan Semanu. See, in WSB, we say good morning. All right. So my name is Gaitan Semanu. I'm one of the senior marketing with World System Builder, World Financial Group. I am so proud to be your host tonight. And we are hosting straight from Gainesville in the heart of Georgia. So let me go ahead and tell you my story. Uh-oh. Can I share my screen, please? Okay, now it's working. All right. Whoop. All right. So, like I said, my name is Gaitan Semanu. I am from Togo. Togo is in West Africa. If you don't know, now you know from today. And thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So I am from Togo, is West Africa. That's me over here back home. I'm married, a proud father of 5, and came to United States in 2001 with a zero English. At that time, only English I speak at those days, it was no problem. So I don't speak English. I'm still learning English. So I have to do job, every job I can take. And one of them is this one that sent me to the hole. The oxygen is finished to get out. The oxygen is finished to get out. Other way, I would be dead. So I did this job for $10 an hour for 3 good years. Moving from there, 2009, I was invited to this campaign. The lady who invited me sits next to me today. I'm proud to have her. That was the first time for me to go to a convention in Vegas and in Oakland, California. Guess what? 2010, giving excuses that I don't speak English. Then I went to school to become aircraft engineer. And that's me. After I graduate, I work for Lockheed Martin. That's the U.S. Air Force Base over here. That's me. That's me over here as well. I did this job for 4 good years. And guess who never quit on me? This lady. She all the way come, drop by, stop by, send a book, and come to visit. And then she invited me in 2019 for lunch convention. Here I am over here. She actually forced me to come to this program. I didn't want to go, but I have no choice. That's why you can see my face in telling. And she said, she gave me 6 months. If this didn't work for me, I can go back to my mess. So I'm still waiting for my 6 months. G19, I become marketing director. And from the middle of a pandemic and COVID, guess what? I make good money and I become senior marketing director, 100,000 K. And can you guys see my screen? All right, great, thank you. So in November 2025, we opened our own center, Gainesville Financial Center. So we are so proud of WSB and we are here to learn. And I can't wait to learn from WSB tonight. So the first president, I am so proud. I always say, I am proud WSB. So thank you. And tonight, my first presenter is somebody that I know never give up. He always work hard. And he drive people to convention. This guy never delay. He have this lunch convention, he have 145 people to convention. He's on a business for 25 good years. And tonight, he's going to give us the proper way to set up our financial foundation. So without further ado, I introduce to you our first presenter for tonight, Mr. Twin Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chi from Gainesville. All right, I like that. So I was at 145 yesterday. We at 158 as of right now, right, for launch. So I'm excited about that. Let me share my screen. Okay, so let me see, share. Give me thumbs up if you could see my screen. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, you
so
got it.
I'm your fellow campaigner from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm excited to be part of the training schedule with WSB this evening. My topic today is to talk about how to build a strong financial foundation. Okay, so I know many of you know my story already because I only have about 15 minutes. So if you don't know my story, I will save my story for another time. Okay, but I'm just glad today that I am part of the Titan X. In fact, I just got recognized 36 months, right, with Titan X, and I focus just like every one of you to be GX and to build GX. Okay, so to all of us to become Kahuna this year. Okay, but I will share my personal story some other time. Okay, so how to build a strong financial foundation. Okay, so tonight I'm not going to talk about any product, okay? So I'm just going to talk about the financial foundation. In fact, I want to ask you a question. What are you here to build? So I know many of you talk about you want to build a business, right? My question to you is, what kind of business? What kind of business you want to build? So I want to try to help change your mindset a little bit today. Instead of building a financial service business, how about building a financial education business? Okay, so I meet so many people excited about the business, excited about the product, the solution, and absolutely we have wonderful things within this industry to help people. Right? They might be excited about the IUL, they might be excited about the RILA, about the Roth IRA, and so on, right? Yes, but how about instead of being excited about product solution, about selling, why don't we be more excited about financial education? Okay, instead of talking more product, why don't we talk about the financial foundation? So I want to be clear, okay, from the start here. Most people struggle financially, not because they don't make enough money. They struggle because they do not build the right financial foundation. Just like building a house. Who built a house starting with a roof? Will you pour cement on sand? But when we talk about a financial house, most people build their wealth without a strong financial foundation. So today I want to talk to you more about the financial foundation. It is simple, it is proven, and it's powerful. Okay, and you build it right by building it from the ground up. If you build it right, your financial foundation will be strong, will stand strong. But if you don't build it right, it will crack under pressure. Okay, this financial foundation has 4 elements. Okay, today I just give a brief overview. We have workshops that go into a lot more detail with each one of them. Okay, but these 4 elements, these 4 layers: 1, proper protection; 2, debt management; 3, emergency fund; and 4, investment. The financial foundation may not be trendy, it may not be flashy, but when you do it right, it's unbreakable. Okay? If you build it right from the beginning, hold on one second. I had to move something on my screen. If you build it right from the beginning, you build it right once, you won't have to rebuild it again later. Okay? So build it right. All right. So do you see my screen change? Thumbs up if you see my screen change. I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about proper protection first. Okay. So when we talk about proper protection, the foundation of every strong financial foundation is the proper protection. It's not investing, it's not rate of return, it's protection. Your greatest asset is not your house, it's not your business, it's not your portfolio. The greatest asset you have is the ability to earn income. And if that goes away, even temporarily, everything may be at risk. So you got to learn how to protect your income. You got to learn how to protect your asset. Okay? When we talk about income protection, illness, disability, death can happen to anybody at any time. These are not what if it happened. These are when it happened. When it happened, are you protected? So proper protection is not being pessimistic. It's being responsible. Okay, when you talk about protecting your asset, as you build your wealth, you must also protect what you build, because it takes years sometimes to accumulate, but in a few moments, you might lose it all. So when you talk about protection, it's extremely important. Protection may not make you rich, but without it, you will never stay rich. Okay, so again, I just want to talk about financial foundation today. I'm not going to go into product, but we have everything needed for you to have a strong protection plan. Okay, so the next element, okay, is debt management. So when we talk about debt management, either you control debt or debt will control you. So debt itself is not a problem. It's uncontrolled debt that becomes a problem. High interest, consumer debt, it will steal your future. It might not be traumatic, it might not be loud, but slowly, consistently, relentlessly, it will steal your future. Okay? Debt will steal your cash flow. It will steal your peace. And it will steal options that you could have had. Okay? Don't let that happen to you. You cannot build wealth if you carrying chain. And debt is like a chain that on your finance. Okay? So debt doesn't just cost you money. it also costs you options. Okay, so recently I know many people congratulate me on the new house that I just purchased. And the moment I buy the house, I find out my equity in that house. I have automatically like more than $500,000 of equity because I was able to buy that property at a deep discount. Lucky, I have my debt under control and my foundation, built right. So I was able to have that option to buy that house that many other people could not. Okay. So again, debt doesn't just cost you money. It costs you a lot more than that. Okay. Yeah. Third, emergency fund. When we talk about emergency fund, life does not ask permission from you before it hit you. And life may hit you very hard. A job disruption, a medical bill, a family emergency. Okay. Sometimes it don't have to happen to you, but it happened to somebody close to you and it still affect you. Without cash, you will panic. And when you panic, you'll make bad decisions. So what the emergency fund does, it won't make you wealthy, but it will give you stability. Having a strong emergency fund will turn emergency into simply inconvenience. And inconvenience won't derail your future. So over the years, myself, I go through many things happen, right? For example, 2016, there was a big flood in our area, flooded more than 200,000 homes. My home was one of the house that flooded. So we caught about 3 foot of water in the house. I live in my suitcase. Me, my wife, my 4 young kids live in a suitcase for 8 months. Sounds like an emergency, right? But no, it was just an inconvenience. Yes, I had to put out almost like $80,000 to rebuild the house, right? But lucky I have a strong emergency fund, right? And it's just simply an inconvenience for me. Okay. So cash may not make you wealthy, but having a strong emergency fund, it will keep you from becoming poor overnight. Okay. Without an emergency fund, right, life will not be the way you want when emergency happen. Okay. Lastly, we talk about investment. Investment is your reward for being disciplined. This is where, Mr. G, a lot of people get it wrong. People don't build the right foundation. They rush to investment. They try to skip everything and get here. They chase return. They chase what's hot. Okay. And there's always something that's hot. Okay. But when you chase something hot, you might get burned. When the market drop, because they don't have the right foundation, they're forced to sell. And they end up making bad decisions. Okay. Because the foundation is weak. Investment is not gambling. It's not buying something and hope it go up. Buy a hot stock tip, right, and hope it go up. A crypto, hope it go up. Okay? It's not speculation. Investment is long-term ownership backed by patience. Okay? So don't rush toward investment. Build your foundation right. But when you invest, you got to be patient. Investment is not where you prove how smart you are. It's where you prove how disciplined you become. When you're disciplined and you have the right foundation, it does not matter what is hot. Okay, you understand. Go through our workshop number 5. You understand and you dollar cost. You understand and you asset allocate correctly. Okay, you choose the right risk tolerance. Okay, and you just keep doing that. Let the whole world around you panic when the market drop. Okay, but you keep to your plan. That's investment. Okay, so Mr. Chi, okay, when we talk about financial foundation, I know I only have a few minutes left. Okay. But most people, they come here, they're excited about different product, but it's not about that. It's having the right solution. So when I sit down with somebody, okay, prospecting or presentation, I always go over the financial foundation. I start with that. Okay. So let me leave you with this. Let me leave you with this. A strong financial foundation, okay, is not based on luck. It's built by order. You got to build it right. The good news is that it does not matter where you are in life financially right now. It don't matter. I was negative 146,000 in debt when I started this business. There was a time in my life I owed more than $94,000 of credit card debt. Okay, there was a time in my life where interest alone I paid nearly $30,000 a year. Life was not good for me before I started this business, but I was happy spending money. I was happy being ignorant, don't understand. But I come here, okay? The good news is that don't matter your current situation, you can work your way out. Everyone, we have similar goals, okay? Don't matter how much money we make, but we have similar goals, which is to build the right financial foundation. Protection first. Get your debt under control. Keep cash for when the storm comes. And lastly, invest and keep to your plan. You build it right once, and you never have to rebuild it later. So the final question is this: is not whether will this work. The question is whether you're willing to build it in the right order. So let me stop share screen here. Okay. I wish we have more time. I know I only have 1 minute left. Okay. I'm excited being here because of the financial education. I know that if you take away everything that I benefit here, all the money I made, the business I have, the team I built, you take everything away, but you leave me with my education. I'm confident I can build my financial foundation. Okay. And I believe that's the reason why everybody should join us. They don't need to join us to make money. They don't need to join us to build a business, but they need to join us to learn how to build the right foundation for them. Okay. So thanks for the time. I look forward to see everybody at launch. We still fighting. We still pushing. We got to cross 200. You know, I cannot sleep, right? We're only a week and a half away, and I'm excited about launch. Okay, so back to you, Mr. Chi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Twin. It was excellent. I mean, I take so much notes, but hey, I will talk about it another time. All right. Our second presenter, guys, is a powerful lady. Tonight we have a powerful house. So this lady, I know her for quite some time. She never joke with her business. She relentless. She never rests. And I can see her, I believe, more than 26, 48 months on 13X. So I present to you our second presenter for tonight, Miss Zeni Venez. If I pronounce your last name correctly, don't forgive me, okay? Venezuela.
All right. Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
sorry.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So there's no echo whatsoever. None. There's no
You
echo.
good. You good.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So good evening. Thank you so much, Twin, for that great training that you gave about building a financial foundation, and that's why we're here in this business, because it's not only an opportunity, but it's also for us to be able to build a very strong financial foundation for our own confidence, for our families, for the future, for our legacy. So when it comes to the business opportunity, we have a very a special upcoming event, and this is about This is a perfect time for me to talk about it, because this is where the value of our big events comes in. And I shall be talking to you about why do we have to have big events. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen, Mr. G? Gaetan?
Yeah, it's coming. All
Okay.
right, I got it now. We can see it.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so my talk is titled as Under One Roof, 1,000 Futures. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about every single person in this call, whether you are on Zoom, with your videos on, or your videos off. You're not being a panelist, but you're on right now. Every single person that are here. And so I also encourage for you to please remind your teammates to jump in, log in, because maybe the message that you're going to hear tonight is going to help them make a decision, that life-changing decision to go into our events. And we have to talk about the reason why we're very adamant about it. So under one roof, 1,000 future, and whose future is that I'm talking about? It's yours and mine, right? So what are our big events every single year? So we have launch, which happens on the first quarter of every single year. We have convention, annual convention, regardless of where it is. So we had Sacramento last year, so we're doing G26 this year, again in Sacramento, and then there's going to be G27 and onwards and onwards. And then we have another big event is our super trip. We always have our super trip every single year. So these are our big events on top of our local events, from Trainers Academy to every offices. When coach have this let's say meetings over for big kahunas and so much more, right? So let's talk about big events. So why are big events such a big deal, right? So when it's upcoming, it's like every single meeting we just keep talking about big events. We have to like always, why do we have to keep moving? Why for us, the veterans, we know the reason, but there are some people who don't understand it. And so this is why I gotta give you a reminder. Tell them I have to say a message of what I have to tell everybody. So there are 4 types of people in our business. The first one are the beginners. These are the people who are excited. You know why they're excited and what are they excited about? The presentation, G or Gaitan, this financial trouble. I'm my job. I'm so stressed out. I don't have what you call this job security. Other reasons, I'm just looking for something. I want to do it. So this is what the beginners feel, right? They have very much absorbent brains. So regardless of what age they're in, they have absorbent brains because they feel like I want to learn this. I really want to, so their brains are feeling like they're sponges and they're so eager to learn. Now, what about the doubters? So the doubters are the same type of person in the business. They're not quit just yet, but they're hopeful. Okay, so they're verge of they're walking in a thin line of either staying or going. Right. So what is keeping them staying? Because they heard the message when we did the campaign presentation, when they heard the message of having a strong financial foundation. They need to get out of debt. So much sense for them, and they have no other choice. They have no other way out except this. But what's keeping them having doubt is because they have tasted, let's just say, a few bullets in the business. So what is that? Oh,
Miss Jenny, you're choppy.
Sound is
The
cutting
sound
off.
is cutting off.
Yeah, it's in and out, in and
Very-
out.
Okay, maybe I should just learn my phone. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Am I clear still, or
Yeah,
am I just talk fast?
yeah, keep going.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna have my being logged in on the phone just in case. But let me Gaytan if I'm choppy again. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So the doubters are the ones that are pretty much, they tasted the let's just say the bitterness, the rejection. The first people that reject them are their family. They've tasted that. The people that they expect support them, turn them down. They got embarrassed into it. They felt like, okay, uh, this is not good. So they have internal battles with them. So what are these internal battles? Would it be, is this good? Am I too pushy? Am I being very too aggressive? So, what will people think of me, right? When I start talking to them about insurance, when I start talking to them about recruiting. So they have these kinds of internal battles. So they're not ready to quit on that verge, but they are holding on to the line because there is that hope of, this is it. There's nowhere else for me to go. Uh, I need to stay and learn on this more. So they have very unclear. They're very unclear of their path, of where they're going. They're unclear of their own expectations, of what they're supposed to expect for themselves, and where are they going? What's the direction with themselves? It's a business. That's why these are the doubters. Maybe some of you are in the beginner stage. Maybe some of you are in the doubter stage. What is the next kind of person? The next kind of person is the overthinker. Who is this overthinker? The overthinker are the ones that are itching to have a success, but they want to do it a whole lot faster, Gaytan. They want it easier. So they find ways to, like, okay, what do 315? Just do this. They will try to negotiate. They will try to, let's just like, find different ways. I can do it this way. This is a whole lot better because this is way better instead of doing this, right? So they're very procedural. They want things by step because they cannot flow like water. They okay. So I'm gonna use the audio on my phones, which will be a lot faster.
No, I cannot hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, try.
Okay, how about this one?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So the overthinkers are the ones that get easily distracted because they have a whole lot, they get overwhelmed easily. They think of so many things because they're in a hurry, right? They're in a hurry like I'm saying, they're itching to have that success, right? So that's why they get overwhelmed easily. These are the overthinkers. Now, what about the explosion seekers? So just for yourself where you are at. Are you a beginner? Are you a doubter? Are you a overthinker or an explosion seeker? So who are explosion seekers? Their vision is there. They see themselves. It's like Gaetan or Twin. They see themselves in the next 10 or 20 years from now. Where are they going? They understand system and they understand this business. But exposure seekers still need to master the system. We still need to master the system wholeheartedly. So we need coaching a whole lot, right? And we're looking for that next builder. We're constantly looking for that next builder. Who is the next builder? Don't look for someone who thinks like her, who behaves like her, right? That is the next. That is an explosion seeker that's just looking for that next builder. They are relentless and they are persistent. They have a very strong belief uh, But the biggest part of it is that they're trying to build themselves because exposure seekers are still constantly building themselves. But they also have to build other people together simultaneously. Can you imagine that one? Building yourself and trying to build other people. That's not easy. And they go through blood, sweat, and tears. And so these are the explosion seeker people. They don't give up. And so if you take a look at this one is based out of the system builder book. I'm referencing them all to the system builder book. And so it says here, we are in the recruiting business. Okay, just read the ones that are underlined. We are in the recruiting business. The recruiting business is all about distribution and opening new outlets. So you're doing much month, we are constantly recruiting because we want distribution. We want to open new outlets through an MD factory, right? And so we master builders mentality. So the your recruiting mentality, your fast start mentality, your meeting mentality, and work mentality. These four mentalities needs to be mastered. Explosion seekers are still mastering this. And so it takes commitment actually to build. So if you think the one that is being underlined, your goal is to build a lot of builders. They will be the who run a strong base shop, a strong super base, and a strong super team. So the in this language. They'll say, what is a bake shop? Oh, a base shop. What is that? I don't how do you get a base shop? So they don't understand this language. But pretty much for majority of, let's just say, even the veterans, we know this already, right? So your businesses, your outlets, your cash flow machine, you may recruit a lot and make good money for now. But in the future, if you have few trainers and no builders, you will have wasted your valuable time because you failed to build anything long lasting. So this is why we are constantly building people. So without trainers and builders, you will go to work day to make a living. Your override will diminish to little or nothing, and your team will shrink and eventually disappear. So this is why we master this recruiting, the builder mindset, recruiting mentality, and start mentality, and teamwork mentality. But this requires a lot of commitment. So beginners, the doubters, the overthinkers, they have not developed this mindset yet. The explosion seekers are still mastering this kind of mindset. And this is not overnight. This is a process. So we cannot build the mind and the heart of a person just based on what? Product. If we focus so much on product to build a person, it's not going to last. If you focus so much on cash flow, maybe you'll reach the highest 2 million, quarter million, half a million, 100,000, 50,000, whatever. But when there are going to be that kind of setbacks, then it's probably going to hurt them, right? And excitement. If we focus on motivation and excitement, it's not going to last long either.
Miss Zenny, can
Connections.
you put your mic closer? You're cutting in and out.
Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, now it's a little bit better, but I
Okay.
think maybe you might need to change your mic.
Okay. Okay. Is that better? Can you hear me
Yeah.
much better?
Yeah, it's better.
I'm not cutting off anymore?
No, you're good now.
Okay. All right. So I hope I didn't lose a whole lot. Okay. So like I mentioned, we cannot build the mind and the heart of every person just based on products, just based on cash flow, just based on motivation and excitement. And it can't be just based on recognition. It has to be something deeper than that, right? Because these are temporary. Nothing can be built overnight. It's loading. Okay. Next, built overnight. Remind people about their dreams and renews their sense of purpose to fight for their family's future. So, why do we do our top 10 reasons to win? When you do your fast thought and recruit somebody, you write down the top 10 reasons to win. It's because we want to know the mindset of the person, the heart of the individual. So, for me, I know that we're helping people, but you know what, Twin? When somebody puts it in their top 10 reasons to win as a I want to help people, it really doesn't impact me. It's not too strong for me because when a person writes the top 10 reason of I want to pay my debt, my $10,000 debt, my $150,000 debt, I want to pay that off, it's a way heavier compared to helping other people. Because helping other people, you don't have to do this business. You can help people in so many ways. So, self, sir, for a reason that you're wanting to fight for. What is it that you're wanting
Yeah,
to fight
your
for?
voice went out again.
So a lot of people come to this business with no vision and have unclear purpose. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. So a lot of people come to this business with no vision and have very unclear purpose. So this is why we have big events, because this is going to help every single person have clarity. Clarity. So these events will help you decide where you want to go. What do you want to do? When you decided to sign up, what do you want to do here? I remember we have a teammate here in Team Victory. They're a couple. Their name is Ben. And
Stop sharing.
huh?
I can hear you. Stop sharing your screen. So they can hear you.
No, we got it. You're fine. Go ahead.
A teammate in Team Victory. Their name is they are a couple. Their name is Ben and Faye Kalangan. And these couple took a leap of faith and actually went full time. From their full-time jobs, they became full-time in WFG and WSB, and of course they hit SMD, right? And so they are constantly, every single morning, they're constantly fighting, bringing people to events. They constantly report in our ownership call for Team Victory because we're listening in, and we hear them share every single time, and we see how they're fighting for their team as well as for themselves. So it was because of these events help them make a decision future as to where they are going. So what about you? In business, where are you going? What do you want to do? Try to change people. Coach mentioned this. This is in the System Builder book in page 199. I believe percent of change comes from inside the person, from a personal decision to change. You may have teammates right now that have been attending events They are professional meeting attendees. They are professional convention attendees. They don't bring teammates to the event. They just keep going to the event by themselves. It's their personal decision to change. We cannot change. I cannot change them. But if I bring them to a big event, something will trigger and help them see where they want to go in their future. Most people won't change. People resist change. Most people won't change fast enough or significantly enough to help them win. That's why most people won't make it. A lot of people quit too soon in this business because they're very unclear of what they want or of where they are going. Don't try to change people. It will only create agony and frustration for you. Just accept the people the way they are. And so, come to big events, come to launch, find yourself in this business, whether you are 18-year-old to 25-year-old, from 25 to 38-year-old, from 30 to 49-year-old, from 45 years old, from 50 to 60 years old, and 60 to 4-year-old, and a 74 to 80-year-old, whichever age you are in right now, find yourself in this business. Create your vision, your purpose, and your direction. What is your purpose here? Where are you going? A vision is your self perception of your future. Do you see yourself in the next 20 years? Where do you see yourself? Here in this business from now. By the year of 2026, where do you see yourself? If it's fun, there's something wrong. You need to be able to find your purpose and direction, because if you can't find purpose and direction, you need help in order for you to make that decision. Because without a decision, you cannot commit. You can make a commitment based on, well, since everybody's doing GX, I'll do GX. Oh, well, because I was told to do 315 or do GX2. So yeah, I'll do GX2. What's in your heart? What's in your heart? You decide, because the buck stops with you. We cannot say, oh, I was not successful in this business because it was, uh, the system was too complicated, or I don't like the replacement, or, like the recruiting part, or we just do a whole lot of things. Look, take a look at the mirror and look at ourselves. Look at ourselves and go, okay, where do we want to go in this business? What do we want to do in this business? If you know, 5 years, and what's happening? What intentions? What do I want to do in this business? Right? So, okay, I'm sharing. So I'm just saying, see you all at launch in whatever location you will be, and I hope that you are going to, really take advantage of being able to share, find more people to come into any event. I know that there some locations have already closed out and whatnot, but we are encouraged to just keep sharing or keep inviting, because there will be casualties. And so when there's casualties, then we can have that replacement of a ticket. And you never know whose life that you are going to end up location. So we'll see you all at whichever launch location you'll be at. Be there at that event, be it at launch, conventions, or at the super trip. Be at the event with your full heart and mind, knowing that there is a reason why you want to go there, not just because your elbow was being pulled, but because there's really something that you would like to do, right? And of course, make that decision. From there, your trainers will be able to help you move forward to whichever direction you would like to go. You want to move fast, we can move fast. You want to move slow, we can also move slow with you, right? But nevertheless, we will bring every person to the success that you want, because that was done with us, right? Somebody brought us to an event. That's why me and Bing became full-time in WFG. It took us what? Our decision was to get out of nursing in 5 years. When back in 2015, it only took us months. Because of conventions, it made us decide to become full in 6 months because of an event. And we saw to go. So what about you? Whether you are a beginner, you are a doubter, you are an overthinker, or you are an explosion seeker, what do you want? So we'll see you at Baltimore or at Pomona or at whichever lodge you'll be at. Have a great, great night. Back to you, Mr.
Thank you,
D.
Zenny. Thank you, everybody. We're so proud to, we have a technical difficulty with Zenny today, but I believe everything should be fine for the next time. So if you don't have any notes, one thing I can tell you is, she said, without a decision, you cannot commit. So I encourage all of you to commit and go to lunch. See you all at whatever location you choose to go. Let's meet and give you high five. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good. One team, one team, one dream, one system, one goal.
Been all alone, I'm skipping stones into the sea. I've been so lost, the time has caught up to me. I wanna glow from chemicals, my tongue still misses the taste. I'm gonna face all of my mistakes, this time I'm on my way. I'm seeing things so differently, I'm learning that I'm not where I want to be, but trust me, I'm on my way, on my way. And I'm not gonna stop, gonna stop, gonna stop. I'm
Hey, Maryland! Paano yung spotlight, ano? Reason why I like to do that. Adam, you was next. Yeah!
Although we didn't do a 350, but that's okay.
Oh, that one. I know. Are you there? Hello, everybody. We're Paradigm Financial Education Center. Yay!